Let's be honest right out of the gate. Even as an Avatar fan, I completely ignored Avatar Frontiers of Pandora when it launched. I just saw another Ubisoft open world, I saw Avatar, and my brain just shut off. I thought, pretty map, checklist gameplay, I'm just gonna ignore this. But wow, was I wrong. Because this game is not just pretty, it's drop dead gorgeous. The new gen graphics are incredible. And after playing it, and from the expansion, I'm convinced this is one of the most underrated sci-fi games that you can play right now. So if you bounced off this game, if you skipped it, or if you assumed it was just Far Cry with blue people, let me explain why you might want to give Pandora another chance. Real quick, before we get started with the video, 99.9% of you aren't subscribed, which is crazy because it's literally free. You don't have to subscribe, but statistically, people who do have better taste. First, let's reset expectations. This isn't an RPG in the traditional sense, it's not an MMO, and this is definitely not a fast-paced shooter. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is a first-person and recently third-person exploration game first, a shooter game second. If you try to play it like Call of Duty or Far Cry, you're gonna hate it. If you play it, however, No Man's Sky or Subnautica or even Skyrim, you're just wandering and vibing, and that's where it clicks. Pandora and the world around you isn't just a backdrop, it's the main character. And I don't say this lightly, Pandora might be one of the most immersive worlds Ubisoft has ever made. The place just feels alive. Plants react when you touch them or walk through them just like in the movies. Bioluminescence, creatures hunt each other without you being involved. The sound design alone makes headphones mandatory. And if you play this in first person, you don't feel like a tourist. You feel small. Unless you stand next to a human, of course. Then you're 8 feet tall. And with co-op, you get to experience all of this with a friend. I genuinely don't think I've ever played a game that's made me stop and legitimately take in the environment around me just in complete awe. Which is perfect for Avatar. There are moments where you're just standing on a cliff, watching floating mountains drift by, hearing alien wildlife echo in the distance, and your brain just goes, wow, I get it. This is a world meant to be respected and not speedran. I legitimately found myself wanting to learn how to hunt better and target animals with care so I wouldn't make them suffer. Hunting and gathering are also heavily encouraged as you tend to have to cook to heal yourself and your tameable creatures. Walking around a home tree and zooming in on the incredible textures, you can just tell that every object and texture was someone's passion project. Movement, however, is where this game quietly wins. You're fast, you're agile, and you're tall, which changes how exploration feels compared to other open world games. Climbing trees isn't just pressing X. You're planning jumps, timing leaps, using momentum, looking at the world around you. And later, when you unlock the Ikran, travel goes from, I'm just gonna take a stroll through the jungle to, nope, I'm flying literally everywhere I want. Flying through storms, weaving through floating rock formations, diving toward the forest canopy. This is one of the best uses of vertical exploration I've ever seen. Combat is where opinions kind of split. This is not a power fantasy combat. You're fragile, outgunned, and constantly reminded that you're fighting a military power with sticks and arrows. Gunplay does exist, but the game clearly wants you to play a certain way by using bows, stealth, traps, and positioning, and trying to use the world around you to get the upper hand. Early on, enemies will wreck you if you rush in. Depending on the difficulty, you may be facing 5 mechs at once, which is pretty hard to manage. I played an intermediate, and I actually had a pretty hard time. And honestly, I think that fits Avatar's themes pretty well. You're not here to dominate Pandora, you're here to protect it. I went in expecting a forgettable story, but what I got instead was a solid, grounded narrative that respects the Avatar universe without necessarily copying the movies beat for beat. You're a Na'vi raised by humans, caught between two worlds, trying to reconnect with a culture that was almost erased. It's not revolutionary writing by any means, but it works. Side quests often feel meaningful, especially when they involve restoring damaged ecosystems, helping clans reclaim territory, dealing with the consequences of human exploitation. It's subtle environmental storytelling done right. I will say though, cutscenes in the base game are pretty freaking awkward. Your character just stands there and basically watches main characters interact and your guy just reacts to what they're saying. It's a little strange. I also had a gripe with the main character's dialogue feeling very anime. Puzzles also feel weird as hell. Using a tech gun, your avatar basically becomes a pro hacker and fixes electrical problems. The puzzles feel very dumbed down and easy. I actually think that quests feel more like a puzzle than the actual hacking does. And your Navi senses won't always help you, and the path you need to take won't always be clear. The world is actually so beautiful, I think it can be a detriment because the foliage is so lush that the path you need to take is extremely hidden. But on the flip side, I do think it feels more rewarding figuring out where to go after spending 5 minutes staring at a bunch of trees, not knowing where to go. Also, hey, if you want to talk about games instead of screaming into YouTube comments, I've got a Discord, links below. Come hang out. We have weekly competitions for memes and clips and plenty of roles and channels for you to enjoy. All right, now let's talk about the expansion From the Ashes. It genuinely surprised me. This is not just more map, it's a new region scarred by industrial destruction, a darker tone, more aggressive enemies, and a stronger emotional hook, which it needed. Pandora here isn't pristine anymore, it's wounded. Burned forests, ruined ecosystems, entire areas that just feel angry. And that shift in tone does a lot of the heavy lifting. Combat encounters are tighter, exploration feels more urgent, and the stakes finally feel personal. If the base game is about discovery, then From the Ashes is about consequences. Honestly, this expansion makes the entire experience feel more complete. So why did so many people skip this game? I think it comes down to 3 reasons: Ubisoft fatigue, Avatar skepticism, and wrong expectations. This isn't a dopamine-fueled loot grinder. It's not a checklist simulator, despite looking like one at first. This is a slow burner of a game. If you give it time, it rewards you. And if you rush it, it punishes you. So final thoughts. Is Avatar Frontiers of Pandora worth playing now in 26? 100% yes. Especially if you love immersive worlds, enjoy exploration over combat, want something different from the usual open world formula, and if you already own it but never finished it, From the Ashes, the expansion, might be the perfect excuse for you to jump back in. Especially because it fixes a lot of players' gripes about the initial launch, like the cutscenes feeling hollow. If this video helped you decide, or if you've already played it, let me know in the comments what you think about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. And one last thing, if you made it this far and you're not subscribed, consider hitting that button. It truly helps me make the content that you enjoy. I hope to see you in the next video. I think it's going to either be Guild Wars 2 or I don't know. We'll see what happens. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Take care, guys.